Beautiful, great one, I lift my hands to you. I lift my hands to you. Unashamed, you share mighty love. Oh, CO. Oh, CO. I hope everyone is doing all right. It's morning, even though it is night. Yeah, I have some things here I want to share with you. I mean, it's just getting crazy. But first of all, let me just sit there and say, or let me ask you, have you heard about the mysterious deaths of over thousands of cows dying there in Kansas? And supposedly it was heat that did it. Yeah, right. Yeah, if someone can tell me a good one, yeah, Bob, that would be something else, huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, real crazy, man. Now, we know that a lot of this is nothing but lies and cover-ups, and that's all it is. But I mean, y'all are smart enough to figure it out, right? It's easy to figure it out because it's crazy, man. I mean, here, with all these food plants burning and all this, I mean, you name it, left and right, fertilizer plants and all, trains, wrecks and explosions and you name it. And yet, it's just all happenstance. And then the crazy stuff that Sleepy Joe, and them wanting to pull, thanks to them giving crazy, ignorant Chameleon, a new position, and they're sitting there talking about more or less suppressing our free rights of speech. This is typical communist rhetoric and crap that they're pulling. Typical. And with all this stuff, with these people going nuts, sending threats and everything to the judges and all this because they want the right to kill babies. And they don't care what age the babies are, whether they're already out of the womb or still in the womb, they don't care. And it's insanity, totally insane. And all right, I got some things here. I'm looking it up. Let's see here, what file that was in. Why is it not showing it? There. Okay, we got that. Where is it? I got so many here. All right, here's this first one. I want you to watch and listen to and tell me what you think. And this is about Russia and Poland.
Safeguarding interests. Poland too is looking out for itself. Warsaw fears that the war in Ukraine could spill over. A Russian mouthpiece has issued a threat. It says Poland is the next target for Russian troops. Now, Poland, we know, shares a border with Ukraine. It is also a member of NATO. But the Polish government is taking no chances. They want to strengthen their defenses. They've announced a plan to buy more weapons. The Polish deputy prime minister has made a vow. He says he would prefer to be in debt rather than in Russian occupation. Here's a report.
Poland is sending a message to Russia. Polish Deputy Prime Minister Jarosław Kaczynski has taken a vow. He says Poland would rather remain in debt than under occupation. Like some of its neighbors, Poland feels threatened by Russia, so it wants to spend big on its military. Earlier this week, Warsaw declared its plans. Poland has around 150,000 soldiers in its military force. It now plans to double those numbers. Polish soldiers will also be given new and state-of-the-art equipment, like 500 multiple rocket launchers, anti-ballistic missile systems, minesweepers, and multi-role helicopters.
No, isn't that insane? I mean, it's just insane. You know, all this gear, these weapons that they're sitting there sending to Ukraine, you know, and, you know, it's amazing because there's a lot of reports that Russia has destroyed certain facilities that had U.S. Weapons that was supplied to Ukraine. And they keep sending them money, and they're like, what was that, 40, I think it was $40 billion, and then turn around, where did the 40 billion go? It disappeared. So, you know, I mean, but it just keeps on. And the thing is, they want a war. When Zelensky wanted to talk peace and maybe as a concession to just go ahead and let Russia have certain areas there on the east there of Ukraine. NATO sits there and says, no, you cannot do, no. In other words, they're trying to tell them, hey, you're messing up when you do that. Hey, we got a war going on. You can't do that. We're making money. You better get in on the bandwagon here, boy. Yeah. So there you go. All right. Here we go.
Russia's invasion of Ukraine changed everything for Poland. It shares a 529-kilometer border with Ukraine. Warsaw fears the conflict could easily spill over into Polish territory. This month, Poland received a chilling threat. It came in the form of a broadcast on a pro-Kremlin news outlet in Russia. The Russian anchor suggested Poland should be Moscow's next target.
Perhaps it's time to acknowledge that maybe Russia's special operation in Ukraine has come to an end. In a sense, a real war had started, World War III. We are forced to conduct the demilitarization not only of Ukraine, but of the entire NATO alliance.
So far, these threats have proved to be counterproductive for Moscow. Poland has been getting help from its NATO ally, the United States. America is strengthening Poland's defenses. After the crisis in Ukraine began, the US sent thousands of soldiers to Poland. By February, roughly 9,000 American troops were already stationed there. In the same month, Washington cleared a major defense deal. Poland will buy $6 billion worth of American weapons. This includes tanks, machine guns, and other military equipment. The crisis in Ukraine has raised Poland's profile in the region too. After the war began, Warsaw welcomed over 3 million Ukrainian refugees. Poland also helped India evacuate Indian students from Ukraine.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you right now, the thing is, if you will picture in your mind, okay, you know, you use your imagination. All right. Picture a bear that may be sleeping, maybe it had been sick, and, you know, looks weak and everything, and finally it gets up, seems a little wobbly, and you have some men get out there and they think, well, it's weak, you know. It used to be a strong bear, but it's weak. So, you know, the bear starts walking towards them and does a little grumble or growl, but yet it still looks weak. So they start taking their sticks and starts whacking it. And the bear is now angry. And you remember in that movie, Revenant, what happened to that one dude? Yeah, that bear attacked him. Yeah. Well, think of those men with sticks as NATO, all right? And of course, Russia being the bear. Now, see, a lot of people don't know that Russia is not and hasn't been weak. They had laid low for a long while, but not anymore. And so, you know, don't dismiss this, Russia, that Russia can't hold its own with Ukraine because Ukraine will fall. It won't be victorious. And NATO is not going to be victorious. Now, as much as we would love for them to be victorious, I mean, let's face the facts. Russia, see, they're not alone. They got the upper hand. They have the aces. You know, so yeah. All right, now I have another thing here I wanted you to, because this is a crazy world. It's just crazy. And let's see if I can find that again. Uh, let's see where it going. Uh, I'll find it here. Let's see. Well, something's disappeared. Oh, I know. I'm looking in the wrong file. I'm looking in the wrong file. I'll get it. I apologize. Okay, well, I found the right file, and now to find the other files. Okay, I really apologize. Because I mean, mind you, keep in mind that everything that's going on is being covered up, and a lot of people are going hushity hush because I mean they got a lot of distractions. You know, if it wasn't Johnny Depp and Miss Heard, it was always something else. I mean, then of course, you're hearing a lot of the the wokers, and those doing the demonstrating and all this on the Roe versus Wade thing, and on and other stuff, while meanwhile there's stuff going on that people are not seeing at all. Um, let's see. I saw it. All right, now here's just one. All right, for example, of insanity. All right.
A pickup truck with an American flag attached to the back, speeding down a street, gives me pause, and I look for safety. At this point in my life, a pickup truck with an American flag attached to the back, speeding down a street, gives me pause, and I look for safety.
One word. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye. B-Y-E. You know, this is America, right? So the American flag scares you? Well, you know you live in a free country, right? America is a free country. F-R-E-E, free.
Yeah. Now, isn't that insanity? This lady is afraid of the American flag. Well, you know, if she don't like this country, she don't like the flag. Well, there's only one other choice. Why don't she leave the country? See how well she likes it in one of those other countries. Yeah, I don't think she would like that too well. I think she would be highballing it to the trying to come back. You know, I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, you get a lot of people like that. You know, I mean, it's insanity, man. Um, okay, here is another thing.
Hey, 78 years ago, right now, this very moment, U.S. forces were liberating Europe. Wow, that's pretty amazing, don't you think? And we all celebrated. One country. We did something magnificent. Shortly thereafter, well, the war was over and we won. And Americans, we were so happy. We celebrated. We came together as a nation. How many times have we done that since? Very few. And now, never, never. What do we come together over? Well, we're all in our little fiefdoms. And lately, this is the big thing that people are getting excited about. Taking pride in that, it's foolish. Taking pride in liberating a continent, saving a world, sure. But being a certain orientation, I don't think so. And we all know this is getting carried away. The LGBT, let's talk about the T part of this. The transgender community, portions of it at least, are going crazy. And they're taking their fascination with genitalia to the children. Did you hear about what happened in Dallas? This is drag the kids to pride. Drag the kids, children, to pride. Now, they had this special event, and let's see how it's enumerated. Do you want to hit the stage with the queens? We have 5 limited spots for young performers to take the stage solo or with the queen of their choosing. Come hang out with the queens and enjoy this unique pride experience fit for guests of all ages. Well, says you. Fit for people of all ages. Now, by the way, this isn't just some weird, strange but true story in Dallas. This is happening coast to coast in rural areas, in cities, and it's bad, bad, bad. I mean, look at this. It's a kid. That is a kid giving a tip to a dancer. This is the only time she's going to be a kid. Let them be kids, but no, they're sexualizing them. I think they're traumatizing them. And I think the whole thing is probably illegal. What are they hooting and hollering about? No talent displayed there. And children are all over the place. And yes, it gets sexualized and the innuendo is all over the place. And bring in the children dancers now.
Strike the pose. Oh, yeah. Strike the pose. Yeah. Strike the pose.
Okay, that's enough of that. And I agree with what he said. And because really, he just said it all right there. I mean, listen, guys, there's just no sense in that. That's an Aguilera, or whatever her name is, sitting there at a park at a event, performance there. Sit there and it's supposed to be a family-friendly thing, right? And doing all these sexual dancing moves and stuff, and had a strap on and doing a masturbation type thing, there. I'll tell you what, now, all these ones who are doing it, they need to be shipped off to some island somewhere and let them do whatever it is that they want to do there. Leave our kids alone. It's just sick. It's like they don't understand what freedom means. Freedom means you have a right to do what you want. You don't force it on people, your ideals and your whatever, right? You don't force that on anybody and shove it in their faces, especially around little children. And they're allowing this stuff in the schools and stuff, and these parents allowing this stuff. Oh, I don't think so. Let's see if I can find that. Let's see, where was it? I saw this. I know I have it here somewhere. I think this might be it.
I am in the women's restroom as a trans girl, and that's semi part of my gay agenda.
Yeah, I think we should endorse when we get to it. But I think it's.
I did it, and it was so beautiful.
Now, does that kid look confused, or is he just validating Pride Month?
I've been wanting to do this for the past 2 years.
Now, you may think, what's this person so upset about? Wanting to do it for the last 2 years? Maybe giving up the bottle, perhaps reconnecting with an adopted child. What would you think would spark this level of emotion?
Sorry, I'm so emotional. And I just haven't had the courage to do it out of fear of judgment, mostly from their parents. But I had these kids in 4th grade, and now I have them in 6th, and I'm sending them to middle school, and I love these kids so much, and I trust them, and they make me feel safe, and I know they love me, and it just felt right.
Hey, teacher, let me give you a word of advice. The kids don't love you. They spend 8 hours a day with you 5 days a week. They've learned to tolerate you, like you perhaps. They don't love you. Get a real friend group, maybe group therapy that we're not paying for as taxpayers.
I did it, and it was so beautiful.
So beautiful. Do I hear stunning and brave?
They had so many questions, which I loved. They wanted to learn, and they wanted to learn about me, and they were so eager, and a few of them clapped, which was so precious.
Okay, story time. So I'm a preschool teacher, and we have no curriculum. It's whatever I want to teach, whatever.
Let's start off with that's the first problem. Preschool teachers have no teaching credentials, no degrees typically. So here we go. This lady's just going to make up whatever she wants to teach. Meanwhile, the parents are paying for this, right? You're working your ass off to pay for this person to teach garbage to your kid.
My coach
You got that right. I mean, don't this make you sick?
teacher wants to teach, but we do get planning. We get to figure out what we want to teach. But we've been wanting to plan a field trip to the Seattle Center. We're right in Queen Anne. So
is it the same field trip with the sign, "It ain't gonna lick itself"? Have you seen that one with the kids in the gay bar during the day for a drag show? If you haven't, take a gander.
we're going to go to the Seattle Center. And I decided, well,
Why?
let's go on my birthday. That would be fun. It's a fun thing to do on my birthday. Why not? And then
there is a theme to these people. They're complete narcissists who grew up without any attention, without any affirmation from their parents. They grew up on the internet. And now they want the kids. It's her birthday, right? Not the kids' field trip. Her birthday. She's grown up. You don't do birthdays and become a grown up. That's for children. But she's going to make it something about her. So where should she go? Let's do something that I enjoy.
decided, okay, yeah, we're going on my birthday. And I'm like, one of my co-teachers said something, well, we should have them wear the same color so it'll be easy to see them. We are having parents come to help. But I was like, why don't we just get the rainbow lace from Dollar Tree? And that's semi part of my gay agenda.
Now I know what you're thinking. This is an outlier. It's not the norm. She's an exception, the gay agenda. But have you seen the number of videos where kids are at bars tipping drag queens as they perform burlesque shows? Have you seen that? This is not an exception. This is the rule. And it doesn't take wrecking many kids for this to be a problem. I'll give you an old analogy. A little poop in the ice cream creates some really bad ice cream.
This is my gay agenda. I don't know what you guys think the actual gay agenda is, but my gay agenda is having my students wear rainbow lace on my birthday as we go to the Seattle Center. So
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. Now, back when my kids were little, and back in, if they would have been doing that back in those days, back then, I would have probably back then would have risked going to prison because, you know, like if they were, everything that's going on now, if it was doing that back then, I'd have probably went to jail. Because I would be like, you know, if they were going to try to force that on my kids, and I'd have took my kids out, that's for sure. I know one thing, that is most certainly a fact. I would have took my kids out. I would have took them out of school. I would have moved off somewhere out in the middle of nowhere and just had homeschooling at home. And, you know, only thing I can think of or to say, folks, is if they don't arrest them criminals in the White House and in the Capitol, if they don't arrest them soon, I'll tell you right now, you're better off if you take your children out of school. You need to move off somewhere in the middle of nowhere or wherever and homeschool them. You know, I ain't telling you what to do. You know, I mean, it's your children. But I know what I would do, you know, in other words, is just that it's crazy. And I know you love your children very much. They're your life. They're your heart. And this kind of stuff should not even be going on. It's just sick and perverted, and it's evil. It's wrong. And they're doing this stuff in the schools. And they're even, you know, the messing the minds with the young adults in the colleges. But that ain't enough. They're wanting to mess with the little children, mess with their heads.
You all wanted a new TikTok about how I use my new pronouns, which are B and fairy.
This channel approves of the pronoun fairy. I think that's a very accurate description of a lot of these unique people. So let's all agree fairy is a good pronoun.
So here we go. I'm going to start off with, these would be used exactly how you would use they them pronouns. So instead of saying that's their coat, you would say that is B's coat. Or instead of saying they love themselves, you would say B loves B's self. Next up is fairy. Fairy is also used in the same way as they them. So instead of saying that's their coat, you would say that's fairy's coat.
Kind of like that's fairy's coat, or that's a fairy, I guess you could say, if you're referring to this individual. And this is their pronouns now. Hear me out. You'd say that's a fairy because you're referring to them in their je ne sais quoi.
And instead of saying they love themselves, you would say fairy loves fairy self.
Yeah. And these are the people that that are teaching the little children, the babies. Well, I just guess that I guess maybe then whenever I run into one of them that are like that, especially with the pronoun thing, I ought to say, excuse me, you call me Oak. Or in fact, you can just call me an ant people, because I'm a tree. Or you can call me plant people. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, man, they're idiots. Bunch of morons. They're insane. These people have been on some kind of acid trip, I'm telling you. And the government has let them loose like a bunch of wild rabid animals that had been caged up. And they said, oh, well, maybe we ought to just let them loose, They've been caged up long enough. And they let them loose, and guess what? We're paying for it. And see, you got your children in school to be educated, and and all this, right? But guess what? Education did not require them, you to have your children to be introduced to all this agenda stuff, on the sexual stuff and all this. I mean, and pronouns which is insane. Instead of a pronoun, you, he, they, him, she, her, etc. Oh no, it's got to go beyond that. It's like, man, they make up words that's like, what? Are you kidding me? Is this real? Oh yeah, this stuff is quite real, but they're insane. Because see, people can't get their acts together. I mean, they allow all these idiots, they allow them to cut loose. Let's see if I can find that. Here's something.
We're introducing legislation to implement a national freeze on handgun ownership. What this means is that it will no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada. In other words, we're capping the market for handguns.
Oh, excuse my language, But this is some crazy shit. Oh, excuse my language one more time. Justin Trudeau, excuse my language, okay? Please forgive me for my language. But Justin Trudeau, whatever his name is, he is a crazy. I want to keep it clean, but it's hard for me to keep it clean, okay? He is crazy as fuck. Oh, excuse my language. That's some crazy shit. Now, y'all know I normally don't talk like that, but this is crazy. This man is a dictator. And if you live in Canada, listen, you might want to get the hell up out of Canada because it might get really dangerous there. This is crazy. This is absolutely insane. I'm glad I don't live in Canada. But you know what he doing? That's exactly what these Democrats want to do here in America. They want to do that too. They want to come for your guns. But this is America. You better stand the hell up. And you better not let them come get your guns. You better not let them touch your guns. Actually, you need to load up on some guns.
Yeah, I agree with them. Because it's just, all right, what we have seen going on here, now they're actually talking about trying to get it where they can come and take your guns from your home. But see, what they don't know is on law, all the law-abiding citizens that have guns, all right, I'll tell you one thing, if they come for them, well, those law-abiding citizens will rise up and there will be a war. There will be a war. There'll be a war on. Because, the government is breaking the law and trying to rewrite the laws and rewrite all the amendments, the Constitution, the whole thing. They're just like throwing it out the window. And it is said that, I forget what the lady's name is. There's some lady that's behind the scenes that nobody even knew existed. She used to be with Obama, but yet she's still doing Obama's bidding and feeding all this crap that we're seeing going on to these idiots. It's like a what do they call them? A dark government type thing, but you know what I mean. But yeah, and be sure to leave your comments, all right, on what you think about all this stuff, all right? And I'll tell you what, it's just insane. I mean, it's just going crazy. I mean, absolutely insane. I mean, they have no business doing this. And here's another thing.
Imagine having a microchip implanted in your hand as proof of vaccination. More and more people in Sweden are doing just that in the wake of the new COVID restrictions.
Other Europeans are joining in massive, sometimes violent protests over vaccine requirements. So what's happening here in the United States in response to the Omicron variant? Dale Hurd has the details.
The World Health Organization admits there is yet to be a single death from the Omicron variant. But that hasn't stopped some governments, especially in Europe, from using it as another reason to enact mandatory vaccination laws. Here in the U.S., Omicron cases are now confirmed in at least 17 states.
We have several dozen cases, and we're following them closely, and we are every day hearing about more and more probable cases.
But so far, Omicron does not seem to be dangerous. Initial studies show it has a similar genetic structure to the common cold, making it more transmissible. But in South Africa, where Omicron first emerged, hospitalizations have not increased significantly.
We really got to be careful before we make any determinations. But thus far, the signals are a bit encouraging regarding the severity.
Peter McGinn of Minnesota tested positive for Omicron after a visit to New York City. He had been
Yeah, and Mr. Fowl, well, he ended up getting the old cove, you know. He ended up getting it. Yeah, talking about irony. And I'll tell you one thing, you know, all we're seeing is nothing but insanity running amok. And you see a lot of cover-ups. They're all covering it up. And need to keep your eyes and ears open. Pay attention to what's going on. Because I'm telling you right now, this is just like, oh heck no, man. Let's see if I can find that one thing. Okay. It's in here somewhere. All right. I know I have that file. Oh yeah, and I wanted you to see this. Now this is going on in China. All right, and it puts you in mind of the insanity here, right? And this is what, well, you'll see what they're doing there and with children's books. And you got just as crazy type stuff here, even worse.
Netizens are criticizing the illustrations in a Chinese math textbook. Some of them are gross, and others are just really weird. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. Finally, there's been an outcry on the Chinese internet over something truly shocking and horrible that's been happening under the radar in China for a decade. No, not that. No, not that either. It's even worse. It's been discovered that the illustrations in a math textbook are tragically ugly. Won't someone think of the children? Even children themselves are concerned.
妈妈，我告诉你，我之前已经跟你说了，这些图片好丑。你让数学老师换一个数学书好不好？吐舌头，全班都吐舌头。这个课代表站在这里，好像是课代表都吐舌头。我一看这个图片就做噩梦。
Okay, I've heard of math giving people nightmares, but not math textbook illustrations. This book is part of an entire series for grades 1 to 6. They were published around 2013, which I hate to admit is nearly a decade ago. Why did no one care about this for almost a decade? I have no idea. But the Chinese internet is now criticizing these illustrations for being spooky, ugly, racist, and exuding negative energy. Can someone explain to me why this girl has a tattoo on her leg? That's negative energy right there. But not just that, the drawings were also being criticized for being pornographic. This image shows a young girl tripping over a jump rope, revealing her underwear. Another image shows two young boys inappropriately touching two girls, with one boy pulling on a girl's skirt while another holds a girl's chest. And this is from a math textbook? Does 2 + 2 equal sexual harassment? And on top of that, a lot of the boys are drawn with unnecessary detail around the crotch. I guess this math book just subtracted too much from the pants. In late May, the hashtag for People's Education Press mathematics teaching materials soared to the #1 trending topic on Chinese social media. The People's Education Press is a large publishing house overseen by China's Ministry of Education. That means that for anything to get published, it has to meet strict censorship requirements. But those censorship requirements are designed to screen out bad politics, not bad taste. Hu Xijin, the former editor-in-chief of my favorite state-run media, the Global Times, has taken a stance on Chinese social media. He wants an official investigation into those books and demands the creators explain their motives. I get it. There's a lot to explain with weird illustrations like this. But it's not just that math book series that's getting attention. The issue has snowballed to include a bunch of other children's books with questionable illustrations. Like the book series A Lot of Strange Things. It's meant to teach children about mysterious wonders of nature and life, which, judging from the book cover, should answer questions like, where do grandmas come from? What do dump trucks do with used confetti? Is it okay to touch toilets? And how should a young woman properly introduce herself to a penguin? But I don't see how this illustration of a dog licking a girl's butt explains anything mysterious. It really just raises more questions like, who's the weirdo that drew this in a children's book?
Now, isn't that insane? That's sick, man. That's really sick. And there's a lot of other stuff going on. Around the world, it's just insane. Would like to know what you think about all this. What would you do, or what are you going to do if you got children or grandchildren in school? And hey, what are you going to do? Like, if you have weapons, what are you going to do when they want to try to come for your weapons? You as a law-abiding citizen, come up like some Gestapo agents and stuff, to come in and do what they want. They're all criminals. They're nothing but communists, and this is not, no. If there's anyone who's military, not former, but who is military, and you hear this, my question to you is, what is the military going to do? I mean, are they going to arrest these criminals or just let them run amok? I mean, they're already selling, land has been sold to China, and some of that land wasn't even, not even this country's government. It's not theirs to sell. Some of it is native land, and the native indigenous peoples here don't even realize that this has happened. There's some that do, but the majority doesn't. So the question is, if you're military, what is going to be done? Okay, that's the question. What's going to be done about all this? These people are ruining. They already ruined it, and this is not going to get any better. And they are ramping things up. They are ramping it up. Who knows? They'll probably remove this video, this live stream. They'll probably end up removing it eventually. I don't know how many will see this, but share this out, but please, share it out, make them work for their money. They want to sit there and take down videos on free speech and stuff because they don't like it because no one's catering and kissing their butts. Oh, heck no. This old coot ain't gonna be kissing nobody's butt. I mean, they're insane. They're just absolutely crazy. And the thing is, you think that all that was just insane there? Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because this world is just nuts, man. Because I'm telling you, there was something here. Okay, where is that? I think you already seen the Poland thing, yeah. Here we go.
Claim that they develop leaders. All too often, that means turning out graduates who cannot feel fulfilled unless they are telling other people what to do. There are already too many people like that, and they are a menace to everyone else's freedom. People are all born ignorant, but they are not born stupid. Much of the stupidity we see today is induced by our educational system, from the elementary schools to the universities. In a high-tech age that has seen the creation of artificial intelligence by computers, we are also seeing the creation of artificial stupidity by people who call themselves educators. Educational institutions created to pass on to the next generation the knowledge, experience, and culture of the generations that went before them have instead been turned into indoctrination centers to promote whatever notions, fashions, or ideologies happen to be in vogue among today's intelligentsia. Many conservatives have protested against the specifics of the things with which students are being indoctrinated. But that is not where the most lasting harm is done. Many, if not most, of the leading conservatives of our times were on the left in their youth. These have included Milton Friedman, Ronald Reagan, and the whole neoconservative movement. The experiences of life can help people outgrow whatever they were indoctrinated with. What may persist, however, is the lazy habit of hearing one side of an issue and being galvanized into action without hearing the other side.
Isn't that true? It's true. And see, with the communists, they don't want you to speak up. They don't want to hear your side. With these crazy wokers and these idiots out there talking about my body, my choice. And the whole time they want to sit there and push their body on you, so to speak. And they want to push their body right in onto you so they kill you and hurt your children. They don't care. They're a bunch of dang fools. I'm telling you, this world has gone insane. And I'll tell you what, it's like all you're hearing now about all this stuff. Man, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Oh, Ocio, how's it going? Hope all is doing okay. Yeah, I've been, we've been, I was sitting here seeing all this stuff, bro. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely insanity. I mean, everything's going on, man. It's just, let's see if I can find that one. Let's see. I'm not for sure. I think this is it. I'll pull it up and see. This is the technology stuff that they got going on. And I don't know what happened to the sound. Oh, hold on. For some reason the sound ain't going on that one. Let me remove that. But this is stuff that they want to, they lead up to the Neurolinks and stuff. That's what this is supposed to be about. And I'll tell you what, you'll find so many people wanting this stuff, especially the younger generation. It's just absolutely nuts. There's so much stuff here. Man, it's just really it's been just going crazy, bro. Where is that one piece that I'm really looking for? I have a lot of stuff on here, and I wish I'd have had it all pulled up beforehand. Uh, let's see. I'm not sure this might be one of the things. I will pull this, see if that's it. This is supposed to be of UFOs in space. Apparently, that's not it. I wish I had that thing. Oh man, it's been hectic. And I'm up late and I'm tired and hurting, but I'm not going to be on here real long. Let's see, where is that? If I can just find it. Should be. Okay, I got a lot of files here. Let's see. There was one I had on here. I think this might be it. Yeah, yeah. I tell you, bro, and all those animals having to deal with them and everything and what have you. I mean, and plus it was really hot today. Yeah, it was insane.
Universal story agrees with the record of every major culture of the ancient world in which the astonishingly consistent story is told of gods that descended from heaven and or came through spiral vortices to materialize in bodies of flesh. From Rome to Greece, and before that to Egypt, Persia, Assyria, Babylonia, Sumer, the earliest records of civilization tell of the era when powerful beings known to the Hebrews as watchers, and in the book of Genesis as the B'nai Ha-Elohim, the sons of God, mingled themselves with humans, giving birth to part celestial, part terrestrial hybrids known as Nephilim. The Bible says this happened when men began to increase on earth and daughters were born to them, when the sons of God saw the women's beauty, and they took wives from among them to sire their unusual offspring. I believe a record of this is recorded in Genesis 6:4 when it says there were giants.
And that's a real giant there. That's not fake. That's not it's not special effects. That is a real giant. And you look at the size of of course the people are small anyway, but Japanese people are not real tall, well, especially back in those days. But I'm telling you, I mean, giants do exist, and I'll show this another time, finish it up, but I put that up there just for a little bit, to give you a little taste of that. Everyone talks about aliens and UFOs or UAPs as they call them now. Somehow it don't sound ominous. If you say UAPs, then UFOs, it's the same thing. UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. It's the same thing. Unidentified flying object. You know, like hello. It's crazy. But see, you get cover-ups, and people, you know, they'll let you have a little information now because it's getting a little bit too much in their face, and they can't much deny it when it comes to the government. You know, they cover up everything else. We see that through the madness and everything else going on. They use a lot of distractions to keep you from focused on what's really going on. From anything to the internal stuff to even to the outer stuff, or you know, like outer space or inner space, should we say? Uh, Aliens. Well, I mean, you might as well say they exist. I mean, you know, I mean, each one's got their own view of a definition of an alien. They're aliens. I mean, but they're also, that's one word for them. But there are some people, the native peoples, different parts of here in this country call them star people. But if you really dig deep, even in their stories and their legends, these star people are not good. Mm-mm. And so, you know, then you got to look at good and evil. All right, good and evil. All right, if there's good, that means there's a creator, a good God. All right, and then if there's evil, there is the devil, demons, uh, evil, dark angels, or fallen angels, right? But you know, so you imagine you see some of those beings, a fallen angel, all right, you would call them star people, you know, right? I mean, you know, especially back in those days, uh, you know, picture that. I mean, you would like, hey, yeah, they come from the stars. They come. Um, there was a book. I can't remember the title of it, but I'll try to remember it and share that with you. It's about forgotten about the forgotten past. You know, about on like UFOs and stuff. It goes back from like 1800s all the way to like 9 something AD and further back, where all around the world they have saw these crafts and saw these beings in them. So there's no getting around it because it sure wasn't. They did not have CGI, and they most certainly didn't have special effects going on. I mean, so I mean, these beings exist, and our own government knows they exist. They work with them, but they're not going to come out and tell you they have been working with them. So, I mean, this all stuff here that's going on is all coming to a head. But I will remind people, with all this insanity, what you see going on, it's not going to get better. It's just going to get worse. Um, the thing is, and I will keep pushing this to hoping that someone will hear it and share this before this gets removed, and hitting the like button and all this and subscribing. Um, but the thing is, well, America is going to be attacked. No, not by UFOs, but they're going to be attacked by the big bear. We're talking about Russia, and it will happen. It's not maybe, they might. Oh, they're going to. They already moving their the military around like chess pieces on a chessboard. I mean, and so isn't China. And there's others. They're all wanting to get in the way because they can taste it, they can smell it. And yet, the way this administration has been running stuff, man, it is. Oh, I'm so tired. But anyway, I just want to say, folks, and also there is going to be a big tsunami and a big quake that's going to hit. And if you're out on Florida or along the East Coast, and you're out on, especially on the West Coast, or if you're living out on any of those islands, I would suggest move. What y'all do is y'all's business and your decisions, but I would say move inland. Get off of the islands, get off from the East Coast, because it's coming. You know, I have my sources and I can't divulge them yet, but when I can, I will. But all this stuff is coming. It's going to happen. Now, Russia's already got their troops, some of their troops, you know, military, you know, and everything. There in Central America, and plus, not to mention in the Arctic. You know, of course, we got some posts there too. But uh, I'll tell you, they're moving. They're getting ready. They've already, you know, been saying, "Look, we're going to do this. You know, you better back off." And turn around and see the U.S. All right, this is no joke. It actually comes from an insider on this. That the U.S., the military, had already sent a missiles over into Russia and attacked some of their facilities over there. And when Russia finds out that they did it, guess what? And they will. It will be, it is on, you know? And so people need to start getting prepared and ready because it's coming. Well, I mean, look at all the stuff that we're experiencing on the food crisis and everything else, you know. I mean, it's just insane. It's happening. It's going to happen. It's like, bro, I'm telling you, I mean, this stuff is getting bad. But I'm tired, and I think I'm gonna call it a good night there, bro. And I hope that you'll have a good night. And I want to tell everybody, you know, to watch your six. Be prepared. Don't be caught with your pants down, so to speak. You know, don't be caught off guard. You know, because when they send missiles over, you're not gonna. No, I doubt very seriously you're gonna hear about it, and you wouldn't. Even if you did, you wouldn't have enough time to uh, get out and leave in your car or whatever. But anyway, I'll go on this continue this on another night. And so y'all take care. Good night there, bro. You take care. Have a very, very, very blessed night. And I will catch y'all all later. And take care. Be good to one another. And love one another. And hey, be safe. Okay. So you have a very good night, and or good morning actually. So you take care, and I will catch y'all later. I have one more last mission. I have to go check on my baby chickens, babies out there. Make sure they're okay or before I call it a night. But y'all take care now, all right? And keep your ears open and your eyes open. And also take a look in your heart, okay? Everybody, take a look in your heart and soul. Where are you at? You know, is there peace in your heart? Yeah, so you better take care of your home, your family, and everything, right? So take care now. And I will see you in the funny papers. Oh, yeah. All right, catch y'all later. And don't let the crazies get you. All right, later, y'all. Love you. Aho and wado.